Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Track in 60, and today I'm going to try Psychedelic. Now, the reason I'm doing Psychedelic is because I put a message out, like a YouTube post, which I didn't even know they existed up until like a week ago. But I put a post out just asking people what I should try to do for this next live stream. And two people suggested Psychedelic, Jake Stetnaford and Alina Lee. And it's actually Alina's birthday today, so happy birthday. I doubt you're watching this, but yeah, happy birthday. So, Psychedelic, haven't got many stringed instruments with me, but I do have a ukulele. So I think I'm going to use that. I like the idea of kind of starting with that, just playing some chords, doing some like noodling. But first I want to get into Ableton, and I want to basically create a kind of drum beat like that I can play to. And I also like the idea, and I've not done this before where I've started a song like this, but I like the idea of actually starting the tempo slow and slowly increasing it. But first let's just put a drum part down, and I'm actually going to use the Spitfire Audio's Labs for this, which is great. Like they have such amazing sounds. And I recently got the subscription because it was on sale, and I got it. And some of the sounds they have are just amazing. So let's go with, we just want some session drums. Let's try. What does this sound like? I mean, that's perfect. So let's just go with that. Oh, Also, I should mention, because this have to do this in 60 minutes, there's a little timer at the top if you're new to this channel, and you can see that dropping down now, which I forgot to start. All right, so I'm just gonna go like a for now, just so I've got something to play to essentially, and I'll also put some hi-hats in there. I'm assuming A sharp will be hi-hats. No, that's not hi-hats. Oh yeah, that'll do. Let's copy this, put them there. That's nice little beat. And then what I want to do is just make this loop for ages, and let's automate the tempo. And if I right click on the tempo, we can then see the automation here. And I want to start it, I kind of want to finish at 120, but let's bring it to about 32 bars, and then bring it down at the beginning to like 100. So we have this kind of increase. I mean, I have no idea how this is going to work. This could all fall apart as soon as I start playing. In fact, obviously I need lead time, so let's just move all this a little bit, because obviously I need like a 4 click in, and also have the click on as well. And how I'm recording this is actually, I've got a microphone here, and I'm going through the OP1, because I've got limited. I've only literally got one input for this interface, which is the Amp Academy by NUX. So if I hopefully just can stand this up, don't spend too much time trying to get that to stand up, and if I enable the microphone on the OP1, just turn the automation off, that should be coming through. I think the level is probably quite low. In fact, let's put some. I'm actually going to use the Amp Academy's distortion on this, which is like a slight overdrive. So. Yeah, I think that's a little bit quiet. I'm also going to use the dark light, which is by Old Blood, which I absolutely love. And I don't know if it's actually going to sound for you, because I'm probably coming through twice. I'm probably coming from this mic and this mic, so it might sound really trippy. So let's just record and get something in there. Okay, cool. That's a very low level. Low level, I'm just going to turn this mic off so we're not getting double me. Let's go into Ableton. So I've got this, let's turn this click off. Okay, firstly I'm going to put on the Waves BB tubes, which is like a saturator, just to really bring out that level and also just make it sound a bit more beefy. And as you can hear, like, one of the reasons that sounds so nice, actually, I mean, the playing's a little bit sloppy, but one of the reasons that's so nice is that the dark light really adds so much to it. just push up the the bass relief, which kind of like cleans up the low end. It kind of doesn't saturate the low end, so it stays nice and clean. Not that there's loads of low end on there anyways. I'm curious to know what happens if I just put warp on this, or quantize it actually, if it's going to sound really glitchy. But in a way, like, I kind of like the idea it sounds a little bit weird and glitchy, because it's just psychedelic. In fact, I kind of love the way that's sounding actually. So we've got, so this would technically be the change where the tempo sits at 120. So I'm going to cut this so I know exactly where it is. And I'm going to create a new beat. In fact, I don't want a real beat here anyways. Maybe just a couple of kick drums to add a little bit of lower layer. Yeah, that's quite nice. I'm just going to loop this last bit that I had. Now I quite like the idea of maybe let's add some more effects on this. I'm going to use the Baby Audio VHS, which has this really cool mode, which is the magic button, which kind of like I think it just makes a mono signal stereo, and it kind of does some phasing, so you kind of get this. Oh, and also there's like, sounds like a bit of flange on there as well. That's nice. And the wash, I think, is like a delay. You've got heat, which is like a distortion, and then your drift just makes it slightly out of tune for some of those notes. Which, let's do that. Yeah, you're gonna get that really wobbly. Okay. Now what I want to do is kind of maybe put an OP1 part over this. Yeah, that playing is a little bit sloppy, but first take. So I'm going to use the default sound that I always have on my bank one on the OP1, which, if I remember right, yeah, it's called Dissolver, and it's in the cluster instruments, and it's just this like, oh, let me just enable that, and it's just kind of like this beautiful sound. I'm going to turn off the amp emulation on the Amp Academy, but I'm going to keep the dark light on, and I'm going to change some of the pitch, because if you hear, you can change the pitch, which is really, really cool, which I'm actually going to use that as an effect, and I'm just going to jam over it. Firstly, I want to make sure I'm just going to play. I was going to try jam, but then let's just record and see what we can come up with. That pitch is really making it quite trippy. I'm going to go an octave higher. And an octave lower. Yeah, unfortunately, I changed the part a little bit too early, actually, because the I kind of lost count because we had that 4-click bar, or the 4-bar, or the bar drop in, or lead time, I kind of start playing a little bit. So what I might try to do is just, because it's psychedelic, you know, I want it to be a little bit glitchy, so I might just copy this and see. Yeah, that kind of works. And then I'm just going to copy this. Probably this part here, I think, was actually pretty cool. Right. I'll fade this in a little bit as well, the OP1 part. I kind of want to create something that's kind of creating a bit of a pulse for the intro. So I know we've got the kick drum, but I don't think it's enough, because I think on its own it just sounds a bit messy, and the playing wasn't the best. In fact, what I might try to do is come up with another part on the OP1 and see what I can actually. See if I can find like a little harmony part maybe. I'm just going to play it quickly. Yeah, right, I'm going to put the mic back on. So I can get this back in place. I need to get some stands or something. As I've mentioned in some previous videos, I'm traveling at the minute, so this isn't my setup, my normal setup. I'm just going to noodle. I'm also going to put the amp emulation back on. I'm also going to put so the dark light has a delay in the reverb, so I'm putting both on now. Right, let's go for a take. There might be some wrong notes in here, but I'm just going to jam along. Start again, because I'm sorry if you can hear me twice, because I've got two mics going. I'm also going to click on for this as well. I should mention I'm not a ukulele player, as you can probably tell. Right, okay, so I think, yeah, that was interesting. I'm definitely going to have to chop it up a little bit. I'm curious to know what will happen if I put the the warp quantize on this as well, if it will kind of give that kind of really wobbly sound. I'm going to copy over the BB tubes over to this part as well, just to boost the signal. Add some more effects. I'm going to add the Baby Audio spaced out, which is it's a delay, and I also need to take out some of these notes off that new part I did, so I'm just going to mute that for now. But yeah, this kind of first part we recorded, I'm going to put the spaced out on on there. Oh shit, this is moving around. Okay, sorry, this one. So you have a delay on the left and a reverb on the right. I'm going to turn the delay off. And I'm going to put it to out space. I'm going to put some stardust up. I'm not entirely sure what the stardust actually is, but it seems to add some nice little elements to it. In fact, I'm going to automate this so the wet signal starts to become a little bit dry, so it kind of cleans up a bit by the time we get to the kind of, I guess, the first part after the intro. So I consider this like the intro, and then we'll get to the next section. And I think this, I mean, that sounds awesome. I'm going to put the same spaced out on that other OP1 part. I need to clean this up because there's a lot of bad notes in there. Let me just solo this. Yeah, change the rhythm at this point. I might just actually copy this little bit because I quite like that. So I'm just going to copy that and paste that. I mean, that might well be the warp, the Ableton's warp that's making that sound a little bit strange. Part as well. And lower the level as well because it's a little bit obnoxious. And I'm going to pan both these ukulele parts a little bit. Oh, sorry, I just need to name these because it's confusing. So the first one is actually the OP1 part, and these are both ukulele. Okay. Also going to put the BB tubes on the OP1 part as well. Lower it a bit because it's distorting a bit there. Yeah, I really like that. So what I'm going to do is get the Waves Q1. And I'm going to slowly put a high cut on these ukulele parts so that the OP1 part kind of starts to come out a bit clearer. So I'll start these all the way to the top, and then we can automate them. Where are you? There you are. So I think I might start to lower it. Go about halfway through. Start to lower this. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds kind of lo-fi. Do the same with the other part as well, but probably a little bit more extreme. Maybe actually have this just come out completely. So again, this is affecting the high end, so essentially like a high cut. Okay, that's sounding cool. And I think with the OP1 part, I like the idea of maybe... What can we do with this? Oh, let's look for another... I think I want to maybe do another ukulele part. Almost like some chords or something for this kind of the first cut, I guess section B. It's already set up as well. So what I want to do. Something like that. Let's start again. I kind of really messed up with the tempo there. As I mentioned, I'm not well versed on ukulele. I'm more of a bass and guitar player, but hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, I think what I want to do with this, copy over the BB tubes again, and I think I want to, because something isn't working right with this new part I just brought in. I wonder if I just quantize this, it's going to do a horrible job of it. Although I'm doing triplets, so let's have a look at settings. Because maybe, yeah, if I put triplets on. Something sounds terrible. I don't know what it is. Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong screen there. Let's just turn warp off because it's yeah, it's not. I don't think it's done a good job there. Kind of really messed up the end. Okay, I'm actually going to go with that. I'm just going to keep the warp on for now because I kind of like that effect it's kind of doing. It's just kind of trippy, isn't it? And I think what I want to do is get rid of all these other parts because I think they're just not mashing very well. Because I like that other note I put in. It's kind of like, it's quite dark, but I quite like it. And I think it might be the OP1 part that's not working. Yeah, that note. What I might do is just try shift this, pitch shift it in Ableton. Oi. Wow. That sounds pretty trippy. Let's stick with it for now. Let's just have a bigger fade here because it didn't sound very good. Okay. It's not sounding like super psychedelic yet, I don't think. I mean, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of a bass there. So I think what I want to do is maybe try to find some other, maybe another OP1 part, but let's change the instruments and also enable it so we can actually hear. It's very quiet. Oh, let's turn these pedals off. Oh, okay, because I'm using, let's just create a new channel. Maybe something, I mean, that's not in the right key, but something that's kind of just a bit different. Let me just lower the levels a little bit because I've noticed it's peaking a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna play along to it and see what I've come up with, and we can chop it up. What are we doing for time? Oh wow, we're almost halfway through the hour. I better get cooking. Kind of interesting. Let's have a listen to that again. Sorry, I'm just going to copy those last two bits there because I think, yeah, that's kind of interesting. So let's just copy that. I think that was the better take. Oh, hang on, this is too early. Well, that was kind of cool, actually. Oh no. Hang on, what have I done? I've messed up here a little bit. want to do something different with the drums. The drums are very, very kind of boring at the minute, so let's focus on that. And these sound really thin as well, so I'm going to go use the old BB tubes again by Waves. I use this on so many things, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to put it up to 5 and 5, push the bass relief up so we're not affecting the low end. Push that beauty up a little bit. Maybe push beast up a little bit more. Yeah, that's cool. Kind of want some toms in there. Ooh, that'll do. Oh, too much. Where are my toms? That might work actually. Interesting. I really want to find these toms though. There we go. Like that. I'm going to lower the velocity a little bit. Okay. Let's have an open hi-hat as well for the. And I also want to try find, in fact, I just want to do a little different feel for this bit, just to make it a little bit interesting. Maybe copy that pattern. The only thing about that, it's actually not a hi-hat, is it? It's like a... I think we're definitely missing some bass now, I think. Now I've changed that drum part. So I think for the bass, I'm actually going to use the Baby Audio BA1, which I've used quite a lot over these last few videos, just because I just love the sound of it, and I'm still kind of exploring it and trying to figure it out. But let's just use some presets to save some time, because we've actually got 26 minutes left before the hour goes. Ooh, big boy, let's try that. I'm gonna try. Okay, that's kind of. I feel like I want to put a low cut on that, but. Let's go lower. Go lower or higher? That's the question. I'm gonna go lower. F sharp should work. I'm gonna change the sound because I'm not sure about that. That's actually a lot better. Okay, then obviously we need to change the note for that weird bit, which I like. I mean, it's kind of horrible, but I kind of like it. Let's push it to C. And then go up to E. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to actually duplicate this part and try find another instrument that's kind of hopefully something a little bit trippy. So I'm going to go through the pads, just go through some presets. Ooh, that's nice, but let's push it an octave higher. Keep these parts going. I kind of feel like I want to go a bit more trippy now. I feel like I'm curious to know, you know what, I've just had an idea. What I'm going to do is get really, really trippy and start messing with the pitch. So I'm going to use the Waves, I always forget the name. I know it begins with S, I'm pretty sure it begins with S. What is it? Oh yeah, the SoundShifter. In fact, there's two that are pretty good, but let's use the SoundShifter. And I'm actually going to put this on the master track, and I'm just going to automate this. I did this recently on one of the tracks I was writing for this, like a composition I was working on, and it's really cool. It kind of works quite well, and you don't really notice it fully. But let's push this down to, let's go like maybe 3 semitones lower. I want to be pretty precise with it. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, 2 semitones. Let's just do that. So. You can hear that kind of warpy. With that, what I'm going to do to make it even more trippy, I'm going to shift it back up. Wonky. Have a new drum part for this bit. We're back in. Then we're back into the basically let me try bring the bass back in for this bit. Oh, I quite like that cut. Let's just stick to those 3 notes for now for this bit. And I quite like the idea of bringing in like a kind of reverse cymbal. So I'm just going to use the samples. That's quite nice. Let's use that. And let's reverse it. Yeah. And I want to kind of use another OP1 part for maybe this bit to kind of make it interesting. In fact, I want to bring the drum, I want to work on a little drum part that's kind of just very interesting for this bit. Maybe something kind of slow but kind of powerful. Ooh, I like actually just how that stops. So maybe I'll just have one bar of it. And then have it come back. Oh yeah, this is quite cool. Yeah, I like that. That's when like an accident, you know, works well. Okay, so let's go on back on the OP1 and try find a new sound. Sorry, I'm just creating the audio track. Okay. Wow, that sounds great. That's not what I was looking for, but I might have to use that in a little bit. Oh wow. That could work. Let's just try record that in and see how we get on. And I am going to have to click on for this. Cool, yeah, that actually worked quite nicely. Just gonna fade it a little bit because I love that pitch. The pitch shifts, it's amazing. Let's turn the click off. Compress that sound just because it's a little bit uneven. And I'm actually going to use Ableton's built-in compressor. I didn't like that last note. Maybe here we just have a stop. Just like a kick. And maybe like an open cymbal or hi-hat or something. Oh. And we'll look at changing these bass notes now. Let's kind of start going lower. Let's copy that and then have the second part then follow this, because I liked how it actually stayed with those notes. Actually, I want this synth to go higher with it, so the bass goes lower, this synth goes higher. Yeah, that's cool, and I just want to build this up. Let's make a crescendo. In fact, I'm going to start bringing in other instruments as well. So I'm going to create a new MIDI track and use the BA1 again by Baby Audio. Because we actually only have just under 15 minutes. So I'm going to copy this part. And why can't I copy that? There we go. Copy that. And let's have a look at the sounds that we've got here. Let's look at pads. I'm in like sound effects weirdly. Oh, that fifth swell's quite cool. Yeah, I like that. Just about works. It's kind of like because it's a fifth. It's like it sounds a little bit odd, but I kind of like it. And let's make this one octave higher. No, that doesn't work. Okay, let's have a look at them. I love the sound of that, but let's look at more presets. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty funky. Oh, hang on a minute, the notes aren't actually right. Let's have a look at that, because that'd be wrong on here as well. Sometimes it's hard to hear because everything's quite low. Oh, hang on a minute, they were right. I don't know why I've shifted them. And I also want to have another part that follows the bass notes as well for this section. I'm also going to put a high cut on this, and I'm going to creep it in so we start getting more of that high end as this last part comes in. Just push that an octave higher so it keeps building. I like the idea, it just sits on this note for a little bit. And bring drums in. In fact, I might bring the drums in on the second one. I got that all build up. Now what? That's the question. Maybe, how would it sound like if we just went straight to this section, back to here? This can be like a kind of our kind of repeated section. Bring that reverse cymbal in as well. kind of want to look at this ukulele sound. Where is it? There it is. Let's have a look at maybe, I want to try putting Baby Audio's Transit 2 on this ukulele part, and let's see if we can, you know, chop it up a little bit or make it sound a bit more interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to actually automate this, so maybe it starts to build up during this first section, and then we'll just keep it on. And I'm going to lower this just in case there's any kind of artifacts going on. I mean, maybe 100%, maybe a bit too much. Pretty trippy. Just going to put it to 50%. And yeah, I kind of, interesting, I didn't actually mean to do that, but the pitch is actually changing here, which is I quite like actually. Maybe this last bit, I'm going to drop it all the way down. Yeah, that's quite a cool way to finish it. I think what I just want to do now is probably just kind of put some variation in the drums. I've got like seven minutes left, so a bit of variation on the drums I think would probably go a long way. I'm kind of tempted to maybe go on the OP1 and just jam over the track as well and see if there's anything I can kind of come up with as it's going. So before I look at the drums, let's just create another audio track. Let's see what other sounds we have here. Oh yeah, there was this sound. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to use that another time. Something like that maybe. Wow, yeah, that's cool. I like that. And it's going through the dark light again, dark light pedal. So it's adding some nice kind of cool. There's a lot of low end there, so I'm gonna definitely have to add a low cut to this. But yeah, I'm gonna. What section might be quite good? Maybe this mid section might be quite good to write over. Let's just record straight and see. It's interesting because obviously the pitch is changing throughout the song, so. yeah, something like that. It's kind of cool. There were some bits that didn't work, so I'm gonna quickly. I think there was. I realised that I should have done like a call and response because there's already that other synth in there, which I might. And this bit kind of worked better than I was expecting because the pitch is changing on the track, but I also want to first put a low cut on this because it was some weird kind of low end artifacts. So I'm actually gonna be pretty harsh with this low cut. And I'm gonna add the Comeback Kid by Baby Audio as a delay. Put ping pong on. Put tape up and swirl up. Wind the signal. Yeah, that note there did not work. Let's just cut that out. I might actually cut out this section. In fact, I'm gonna reverse this actually, just to make it really trippy. Okay, I want to look at the drums because I feel like they're just very repetitive at the minute, especially this section. So I'm kind of like the idea of doing some little kind of drum fills as this bit goes on. Maybe throw some toms in there if I remember where the toms are. Just solo drums. And let's loop just this section. Where are our toms? Quite like that. Maybe add another one. Next section. Maybe change the kick drum part. I do want to find those toms. Where are they? Well, that was pretty cool. Shift that slightly. And let's put some change in this one as well. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So some variation there, just to make it a bit interesting, and I think it'd be good to maybe have some variation for this kind of section, the kind of repeated section. Let's change some of the kick drum parts around. Yeah, that's cool. Just adding some little notes in there, just to kind of. Oh, we've run out of time. I just realized, I don't know when that must have happened quite soon. But yeah, the hour is gone. So let's have a listen to this. What I want to do is just add some quick mastering, and I'm basically going to use just Ozone 11 on this and just use a preset. So let's go to Isotope. Can't believe that was a very quick hour. And I'm just going to use the balanced master for this, which does a pretty good quick job. But yeah, let's have a listen. And if you are watching, please comment. Just let me know if you're enjoying it or what you think. And yeah, let's have a listen. Oh, let's just unmute the drums. Right, let's start that again. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's my that's my attempt at the theme of Psychedelic. And yeah, did it in an hour. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. If yeah, please send ideas for themes. It makes it very fun to kind of have ideas of something to kind of try do within the hour. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I love doing this. It's real good fun. But yeah, until next time.